All right, we're going to segue right on into talking about Amazon's Sidewalk project. The Sidewalk project. This thing is just more dystopian thrown on more dystopian. But yeah, like I said, it's always about watching, it's always about tracking, always about keeping eyes. So the Amazon Sidewalk is a project built to connect all devices and households together under one network. This is about taking all of your Internet of Things devices and trying to connect them all together under one network. Now, they're connected in ways right now as far as connecting to the internet and whatnot, but they're trying to connect the devices themselves together. So this is where it gets again dystopian. It will allow full surveillance not only with the Internet of Things but also the Internet of Bodies technology. I'll just go ahead and show you this video that explains it, and then we'll talk about it. Check this out.
Amazon Sidewalk is a shared network that allows connected devices to continue working amidst disruptions and with longer ranges. This technology is now available for developers to integrate into devices and accessories, opening the door to new solutions and innovations the world has never seen. Sidewalk is a network by the people, for the people, made safe by the latest in internet security technology. So what does that mean, and how does it work? Amazon Sidewalk uses a variety of wireless technologies, one of which is LoRa. LoRa is a low-power, long-range solution that allows any Sidewalk device within range to maintain a network connection. Select devices serving as bridges pool together a tiny portion of internet bandwidth to create one expansive network. Why is that useful? Say you're out of town and you want to remotely turn on your outdoor lights. If your home network connection is lost, so is that communication. But with Amazon Sidewalk, your lights still receive that message using the shared Sidewalk network. Additionally, if you drop your keys on your morning run, Sidewalk can alert you of their approximate location. It can also detect motion, track packages, sense air quality and water leaks, monitor security. The possibilities are truly endless. With Amazon now opening up Sidewalk to developers, expect to see a growing number of tech aimed at making the world a safer, smarter, and more connected planet.
Isn't that wonderful? No. Yeah, so this is, oh my word. Like I said, when you look at the spyware stuff that we have now, all your Internet of Things, your smart consoles, your smart TVs, your smartphones, your smart refrigerators, your smart everything, that stuff's all connected to their system. It's all connected via the internet. But what they want to do with this is they not only want to connect it that way, but they want to connect all devices to make a blanket network for everything else to run through, to follow through. This thing is crazy. So this technology is taking your your spyware stuff that you already have and creating a tracking system powered by all the other spyware projects around it. And as you can see, if you drop your keys and it's hooked up to Sidewalk, you could find a way to track them and pick them up again. So it's always going to be watching, it's always going to be tracking, it's always going to know where your keys are at. And if your keys are on the move, most likely you have them, and it's going to be tracking that. Now just think of all the wearable stuff that you'll have, your smartwatches, your Fitbits, anything like that. That's also going to be hooked up. It's just another way to track you. If you have a wearable product, or say your car, that's another aspect, is connected to Sidewalk. By passing through connected networks, it's now going to keep full track of you. So as you pass through this network that's all the way around, it's always going to have visual, it's always going to have GPS, it's always going to be watching you. It'll have GPS, audio, and video surveillance keeping tabs on you at all times. This is playing in part to the 15-minute city. This is playing in part to that. As we know, they've already got like smart street lights, the biometric scanners when you walk into stores, a lot of them like Walmart. My local HEB has now got one outside of their door that's usually close to eye level. And so it's there to scan your entire face as you walk in. it's a way to keep track. And yes, even streetlights have cameras and a microphone. So if you're just walking down the sidewalk, it can record the conversation that you're having too. Amazon Sidewalk will also be hooked up to facial recognition technology. So here we go again with the biometric stuff. This is where we go along with they're trying to get more eye retinas. On Saturday, I played a video of a scene from the Minority Report. When you walk into a mall, when you walk into a store, it scans your eyes and it personalized ads to the point where the advertisement is even speaking your name because it has your registry on in their database. And so this is just another system that's going to be applied to that. When I was talking with Tom, the theme was they're switching to eyes now. Everything is about eyes, retina, eyes. I mean, of course, all throughout history, we got random stuff that always applies to eyes. You've got the all-seeing eye, the eye of providence. You got the eye of Horus as well. We know the Antichrist, mortal wound, eye. It's always eye, and they just continue to take a shot at eyes. That's a bad thought. Never mind. Don't even think about that. But that's what they're doing. They're connecting eyes to everything, and they want these biometric eye scanners at all times, and they want to attach that to profiles. And so this massive push for facial recognition verification is starting to show its face in being the database for programs like Sidewalk. We've talked about the databases, the simulation programs that they have, your digital twin, where they've built somebody that they know more about you than you know about yourself. They've got DNA hooked up to it. They've got your health stuff hooked up to it. They've got your patterns, what you say, what you think, your ties to politics, ties to religion, ties to whatever sports team you like. They've got everything about you. It's a sim program where they've built a digital version of you. And this Sidewalk project is going to tap into that. It's going to collect more data about you to get it hooked up. Because as we know, Amazon is just a strong, independent company that's not attached to any government entity at all, right? Right? Okay. So with this Amazon Sidewalk, with the network coverage overlap of the network, it creates a blanket network that will cut. How many times can I say network in one sentence? That then covers everyone, completely removing privacy, as all movements and speech will be captured at multiple angles. So if you guys don't know, if you're just walking down like a suburban sidewalk and you have houses that have Ring cameras, it's watching you. It's keeping tabs on you. It's listening to the conversation. If you're talking to somebody on the phone, that Ring is not only watching you, but it's picking up your conversation. And each house that you pass by that has one of those Ring cameras on there, it's keeping tabs of where you're walking, the direction that you're going. Not only is it gathering that information, but it's gathering how you walk. It's if you've got an injury of some type, it's going to know if you have a certain walking pattern. They're going to gather that information and apply it to the digital twin that they're doing. And that's not just some joke. I've played clips of. They had a CERN conference not too long ago where they were talking about digital twins. That's right. CERN is involved with this too. The Atom Smashers. Isn't that great? So this is real stuff. And they're trying to connect everything. Again, it's always about always watching. You know that song? It always feels like somebody's watching me. Well, that's basically what it is there's Big Brother's always going to be watching you. If you want to talk about predictive programming, The Truman Show is one of them, where they've got the eye in the sky with all the different cameras and microphones that's always watching Truman. Well, we're Truman, and they're the eye in the sky that's always watching. So that's how, I mean, it's unbelievable that we've gotten to this point where they're able to do this. I mean, they're able to do this, and they are doing this. Now, Amazon claims it can cover over 90% of the U.S. population, including those in moderately rural areas. So they're talking about how they've got 90% of the U.S. population already covered with the Sidewalk network. Do we believe it? I tend to. I actually do, because like I said, whatever technology that we're seeing now, we know they've got something at least 10 years advanced that we don't see. So when they say they got 90% covered, I tend to believe them on that number. All data collected with all data collected without consent will all data will be collected without consent. There we go, and will collect personal and sensitive data like movement patterns. We just talked about that. Your life routines. If you always walk in a certain route, it'll collect that. If you drive to work a certain way, if you always stop at the same coffee shop on the way to band practice, it'll keep track of that, and it's going to learn your patterns. As well as it will gather your passwords. If you're talking about passwords or using that stuff, private conversations that you don't want people to know about. Yeah, if you're talking to somebody about that rash that you're trying to hide from people, it knows you have a rash. Just saying. And I also want to talk about this because I've heard a lot of people try and come up with a way around the AI deepfake voice, because we've talked a lot about the AI being able to mimic somebody's voice. We've talked about how there was the scam somebody was trying to pull where they acted like they abducted somebody's daughter and they had the voice of the daughter via an AI deepfake. And I'm hearing a lot of people saying, well, that's why we have code words. Like if we say a specific code word, like say I'm talking to my brother or something, and I don't know it's actually him, I'll say, what's the code word or something. Well, that won't work because they're always watching, always listening. And if you guys have a code word, they're going to know that code word. It's going to know what it is, and it will just say it because it has learned it. So that's why that system won't work with that. So I don't want to burst anybody's bubbles, but I do want to give you guys warning that if you guys have some code word set up, it's not going to work. It'll learn it by watching you. It's going to understand what your code word is. So you got to figure out some other thing. I don't have an answer for you. But you'll have to figure something else out. Also, don't forget that Amazon's Ring system has deals with over 400 police departments across the United States to grant them access to Ring video and audio. That's right, the authorities can bust into your Ring video and your audio for whatever reason they deem to be enough, because who knows what they want to do anymore. So you're having authority already getting in there. So not only do you got Big Brother and you got Big Tech that's got that, but now you got local authorities as well. And I can only think when you're talking about persecution, I mean, if you want to talk about persecution, whether it's you're just a conservative and they're trying to dig something up on you, or if you're a Christian and they're trying to dig something up on you about that, they just bust into that. They can find information that you're smart. This smart stuff has just happened to capture about you. So this is going to play a part in persecution, is this spyware stuff and being connected to Sidewalk and all that. So, but it makes me wonder, as far as the Sidewalk program, if it will connect to Dallas Independent School District's new AI pre-crime rollout. That's right. They're putting in an AI monitoring system, which will have a pre-crime analysis procedure, and it's going to be watching the kids in school. The Dallas Independent School District is partnering with DaVista, and this project will use the Heimdall AI system to monitor each student and alert the school authority. Catch this, alert the school authority if a student deviates from his usual baseline behavior. So if you had questions about who cares if it's collecting data on your usual route, how you move, your speech pattern, all that stuff, that's what this AI pre-crime system is going to be basing everything off of. It's going to be monitoring, collecting data on your usual habits, your usual speech, your usual movements. And if you start deviating from that, it's going to consider you to be a threat. That's why it matters. That's why they're trying to collect as much data as possible, because they're trying to get this pre-crime system into place. Again, this is another Minority Report situation. If you want to get into, again, predictive programming, because that's what it was about. It was about a department that detects pre-crime. And that's what they're trying to do with this AI system. And by collecting all this data about your patterns of life, they can do it. And they're going to be putting this in for kids in schools. This is a biometric AI surveillance system that is utilizing pre-crime algorithm. The school district is the same one who was busing kids off campus to vitamin sites in 2021. This is the same school that was sending kids 16 and up, busing them to get vitamins in 2021. No surprise there, right? Dallas Independent School District currently has 141,000 students. So you're looking at 141,000 kids who are going to get monitored all day long by AI biometric scanning systems in the schools that they attend. Ay caramba. So who is DaVista? Because I wanted to know who DaVista is, this company that they're partnering with. And, oh, it's great. Let's take a look. This is DaVista. Take a look at it. Industry segments they serve. School safety from kindergarten to 12 years old, or year 12 to 12 years old, to year 12, colleges and universities. It also does corporate security operations. So all your businesses, they can team up with the same AI biometric pre-crime system, as well as law enforcement is working with it as well. Boy, oh boy. Can you imagine when this starts rolling out even more than it already is? Let's keep taking a look at what is going on with DaVista. Who we are. Let's go to the About Us. DaVista is a dynamic and innovative company that originated from the Department of Homeland Security. Oh, man. Is anybody shocked? Is anybody surprised by that? Ay, ay, ay. Originated from the Department of Homeland Security Emeritus Center of Excellence in 2017, leveraging our extensive knowledge in machine learning algorithms and data visualizations. Oh boy. Let's continue. Let's take a look, scroll a little bit further down. Our story. DaVista is the pioneer of delivery of artificial intelligence and data visualization solutions for the physical security and law enforcement industries and schools now. DaVista's goal is to help organizations fully automate their physical security operations by continuously orchestrating and dynamically mobilizing their safety and security apparatus and personnel in response to developing events in the anticipation of emerging and future trends. This is about the pre-crime. This is about guessing what's going to happen. This is about taking a look at what your trends are, and if you don't play or if you fall out of them, it will consider you a risk. And this is going to be used with AI. The AI is going to be teaming up to accomplish this. Now, DaVista was born out of the visual analytics for command control and interoperability environments. You can see the abbreviation. I'm not going to say it. Center, a U.S. Department of Homeland Security, still, Center of Excellence. Let's see. The mission to focus on creating new methodologies, tools, and applications to transform the vast amounts of data generated and collected by the various facets of DHS into usable and actionable information for a range of applications, from public safety. So there's your school. Are they going to be applying this to your public streets and whatnot? I'm pretty sure China's got a system similar to this. And Homeland Security to healthcare systems and logistics. So you're talking about collecting health data as well. And we've discussed that already about as far as the digital twins and what they're doing with that. So you got people from the DHS who are hooking this stuff up to businesses, law enforcement, schools, and I can only imagine hooking it up to your Internet of Things out there in your 15-minute cities and whatnot. And it's AI driven. It's collecting your movement patterns and your behavior patterns. It's guessing your trends, and it's going to apply pre-crime on top of it. Could you imagine? Could you imagine living in that, in an environment where no matter what, AI is watching you and it's going to guess if you're going to do something bad or not? That's what they're working on. That sure sounds like full control from the beast. Just imagine when demons take possession of those AI systems.